It was Abby's 3rd birthday. On such an occasion, it was normal to be surrounded by the bodies of one's family. The entire living room was a mess though. The birthday girl, however, was unbothered. As long as she had Lizzy, her stuffed lizard plush doll, she was happy. Her father, Andrew, seemed to have calmed down somewhat.
Abby, my sweetheart, I will do anything to protect you.
He noticed his brother, Abby's uncle Paul, still moaning weakly on the floor. Andrew lunged towards the injured man like a wild animal.
Don't you touch her. Die!
And then there was silence. When Andrew finally calmed down, he looked at his bloodied, shaking hands.
What have I done?
He looked over to his daughter, having the time of her life playing with her inanimate companion. Rage began to take over his senses.
You made me do this. This is all your fault.
Andrew got up and walked towards Abby with his arms trembling madly.
Die, you witch!
Hello everybody, I'm TheRubber. Today, we bring you a tale from the SCP Foundation. March 6, 2005. It was the happiest moment in the lives of Andrew and Madeline. The young married couple was about to head to bed. Suddenly, Madeline stopped and looked up at Andrew.
I think my water broke.
Oh God. I'm gonna get you to the hospital right now. Hang in there, honey. Liz, stay still.
Before, Andrew and Madeline had been trying forever. When their doctor told them the good news, they couldn't be happier. But now was a whole other level. They rushed to the hospital as fast as they could, so fast that Andrew almost hit someone on the road. Waiting for the doctors to deliver their firstborn felt like years. Anxiety and excitement filled Andrew's mind, almost drowning him. Fortunately, the sound of a baby's cry broke the silence, and all he felt was bliss. Andrew was then called into the delivery room to be reunited with his wife and their newborn daughter.
Oh, honey, isn't she lovely? That's our daughter. She's so beautiful. Abby. We'll name her Abby.
Everyone from both sides of the family was there to welcome Abby home for the first time.
Here, Liz. She's going to be your sister from now on. Look at her.
While everyone was cooing and teasing the newborn, Liz, the family dog, barked at her aggressively while slowly backing away. It then whimpered pitifully and dashed out of the room. One day, Liz vanished without a trace, leaving Abby heartbroken and yearning for its return. Her only playmate was forever gone. The next day, Andrew and Madeline brought Abby to a toy store in hopes that a gift would lift her spirit. Teddy bears, dress-up dolls, none of them seemed to pique Abby's fancy. Then she saw it. A gray, drab-looking lizard plush on the top shelf. Abby's eyes would not move away from it, as if an unspoken connection had formed between her and the toy. Andrew reached up and got her the plush. Abby embraced it with affection. She smiled and whispered to her new companion,
Lizzy.
However, the way their daughter looked at her new toy made Andrew and Madeline feel incredibly uneasy.
There's something inside of her. A ghost crawling its way out, taking over her mind day by day. She's a witch. Wait, no, she's my daughter. I must be tired.
And thoughts like these began to surface more frequently, not just for Andrew, but the people around Abby as well. It only got worse after an accident in the local park that got her hospitalized for weeks. Since then, the married couple couldn't even look at their daughter for more than a few seconds at a time. There was something wrong about Abby, and it shouldn't be. Andrew would rather be anywhere else but next to his daughter. Madeline also tried her best to limit interactions between her and Abby. While preparing dinner, the young mother would sometimes imagine herself hurting Abby. In a similar fashion, Andrew would sometimes hear his own voice whispering into his ears.
She's a witch.
I don't know what to do, Andrew. I feel horrible. She's my my daughter. But I can't help but to get these morbid thoughts. Being around her, it makes me want to throw up. There's something inside her, in her eyes, in her skin, just everything about her. I just don't know what to think or do anymore.
Abby struggled to make friends in kindergarten, and they avoided her like the plague. The teachers would also exclude Abby in their activities whenever possible. One time, Abby's teacher, Miss Penn, couldn't resist her malicious impulses anymore. She tried to strangle her in front of the class. As soon as she laid her hands on Abby's neck, she dropped to the ground. Just like that, she was no longer breathing. After an investigation by the police that led nowhere, the case was closed. It was reported as an incident involving an abusive teacher who suddenly died of a heart attack. But deep down, Andrew and Madeline couldn't help but to feel fearful and deathly anxious. They knew that the teacher's death wasn't simply a heart attack. It was more than that. They knew that Miss Penn felt it too. They were convinced that she heard those evil voices inside her head as well, gnawing at her, encouraging her to act. And act she did. Would the couple end up the same way if they had given in to these voices? They shuddered to the thought. Soon, a new teacher came in, but Abby was once again shunned in class, avoided by both students and teachers alike. Months later, Andrew and Madeline organized a birthday party for Abby, with many of their family members attending. Minutes into the party, Andrew noticed that the atmosphere was beginning to shift. At first, it was bright and lively. Everyone was laughing and singing. Then just after Abby blew the candles, everyone was watching the birthday girl with the familiar blank look on their faces, which Andrew recognized all too well on his wife. It didn't take long for Uncle Paul to act. As he picked up the statue bust on the shelf nearby and made his way towards Abby, Andrew tackled him to the ground without a second thought. Chaos soon followed, and the party guests turned violent. They grabbed whatever they could find and used them as weapons to brutalize each other. Andrew and Uncle Paul wrestled on the ground. Blows were exchanged, but Andrew was soon overpowered. Madeline tore down the birthday banner and strangled Uncle Paul from behind, giving Andrew an opportunity to attack his brother.
Abby!
Andrew turned around frantically, trying to locate Abby amidst the chaos. The birthday girl was simply playing with her plush toy, unbothered by the sheer violence and fighting surrounding her.
Abby, I'm coming! Hold on!
Someone ambushed Andrew and struck him in the head. It was Madeline, with that same unhinged, crazed look on her face, holding the palm-sized bust.
You're trying to kill Abby, aren't you? Aren't you? I'll protect her. Yes, as her mother, I'll protect her. I'll kill you!
You crazy woman!
Andrew caught Madeline's arm as she charged at him once more with the bust. He wrenched it off her hands and pushed her to the ground. Mad Madeline was pinned down by her equally mad husband. Andrew raised the bust above his head, and with both hands, he brought it down against his wife with all of his might, over and over again. The situation died down after a moment. Madeline had also ceased to move. After realizing what he had done, anger and fury overcame Andrew as he turned his attention towards Abby.
You made me do this. This is all your fault.
Andrew snatched Abby's plush toy and pushed her down. She watched as her father tore Lizzy into pieces. Then he turned his deranged gaze at her. Just before Andrew could strike, he dropped to the ground and started choking. His body went limp as his heart gave out, and that was the end of it. Abby sat there, all alone in the house, surrounded by a sea of corpses. The Foundation arrived and recovered her later that day. Since then, Abby was designated SCP-053 and was confined in a sterile cell with a hard bed and some toys. Every day, she would undergo strenuous experiments where subjects would attempt to harm her and then die of heart attack. Even if they did manage to hurt her, 053 would regenerate from any wound instantaneously. It was a chance encounter when she caught a glimpse of SCP-682. It was engaged in a fight with another anomaly. Both of them made eye contact for a split second, and 053's eyes brightened up.
Lizzy.
And as fate would have it, 682 breached containment and killed everyone in the facility. It then made its way toward 053. She wasn't scared when the immortal lizard broke through the cell wall. "Lizzy," she said in her tiny voice, filled with happiness,
"Do you want to go out and play, and then go back to my home?"
682 growled amicably and let 053 climb on top of it. Together, they made their way past the mountain of dead Foundation personnel, and out into the open world they went, where 053 could have her birthday party once more. We hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to click like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. Have a favorite SCP you want to see on this channel? Leave us your suggestions in the comments down below. In the meantime, if you'd like to see more SCP content, then check out some of our other videos right here. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye!